Da Landlord of One Chance, One Life TV.
Make sure y'all subscribe, man, and support, man. I appreciate all the support, man. One Chance, One Life TV.
Welcome to another episode of One Chance, One Life TV. This episode here is sponsored by Peter's Nightcap Coffee. I got the legendary Mr. Peter Bailey with me today, man. How you doing?
So I'm great, man. I'm inspired. Inspired by everything you're doing, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man, for taking your time out to pull up on me, man, and keeping your word, man.
So, word is everything. A man ain't got his word, he ain't got nothing this world.
Yeah. So, we gonna start from the top, man. Go on and introduce yourself to the people for me.
I'm Peter Bailey. I think many of you know me from my NiteCap series from many years ago. But before NiteCap, I was a Time magazine reporter in New York. And Newsweek, then Time magazine, then the Miami Herald. And that's how writing at the Miami Herald, I started to really focus on the urban community. I found that at the Herald, like most mainstream papers, our people weren't covered the way they needed to be covered, right? It was, if we ended up in the paper, it was somebody shooting somebody. And I never liked that. I wanted to basically, because perception is everything, right? He who controls perception controls you. So for very long, people of color, we don't really own the story. We don't own our imagery. And I think about the babies a lot. I think about what they're groomed to be. We grew up on Menace to Society, these things. So I wanted to show the other layer of who we are, right? Our intellect, our beauty, our strength, our positivity. So that's how NiteCap was birthed. I was writing at the Miami Herald, and Trick Daddy, he was a fan of my work.
Yeah.
He's very well read. And when his people reached out, man, Trick when you write his book. And I ain't gonna lie, I was a little stereotypical because I moved from New York. I was like, Trick, read.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he reads. And one of my cousins that was locked up, they had like a reading club. I wanted the soda of one of them. Them boys was like reading my articles, bro, like at the Herald. And it just stemmed from there. I got with Trick and spent some years with him. And I'm always gonna give Trick his flowers. Because in life, I got a rule. If you came into my life and did something that I couldn't do, I can never cross. You see what I'm saying? I'm loyal for life. So he gave me the opportunity to write his book. And what was cool about what he did, he said, Peter, I respect your art. Just do what you do.
Yeah.
And I respected that because a lot of times with celebrity memoirs, they want to control the narrative to paint themselves as perfect. I think what makes Trick the legend that he is, he's vulnerable. He's going to show you his real, whether it's beautiful or it's dark, because he's in his evolution. So he gave me that once in a lifetime opportunity as a writer, bro, to really just write, but the vision from that was I always had a passion. I'm a history buff. So when I came to Miami, just writing at the Herald, I noticed, man, Black Miami really wasn't covered the way it needed to be covered. So I always wanted to tell a story of Black Miami's histories in the city.
Yeah.
So that book, Magic City, Charles of a Native Son, is basically, it's history, but it's through Trick's eyes. So we conquer both worlds, right? Because a lot of times you try to do a passionate project on social justice and academia, and people, man, that's boring. But when you add Trick, it made it commercially viable, right? So it made it cool to read about the McDuffie riots. It made it cool to read about these things. And even the Miami Kingpins, that the series is out now, that book is the first book to actually document the lives of Convertible Bird, Big Ike, Bo Dilly. We just changed the names, to protect the innocent. And the book did well. The book, it was the New York Times gave it everything, and that was amazing because the New York Times, sadly, it doesn't focus on urban life.
Right.
And it was a beauty because Jay-Z's Decoded dropped the same day. The book was so fly, I'm gonna probably put this out there that they put it out the same day, man, and we did well. We did well, and after that, I'm pushing, brother. I always want to push my horizons. And it was time for me to step out on my own. I had crafted this lane of journalism where I guess you could call it, I have a way of making marginalized stories mainstream. I have a way of, I'm the bridge, right? And that's when I launched NiteCap Media, the docuseries, where I said, let's take this further. I want to take our urban stars and redefine what it means to be urban. I'm going to talk with a rapper, Plies, every Boosie about God, about spirituality. And I didn't allow any profanity. So at that time, It was pioneering. At that time, brother, I didn't know I was pioneering this thing. Whatever. It wasn't even called podcast back then. I just had a burning desire to keep showing our people in a godly, more righteous light. Not a perfect light, because I ain't no perfect guy. I'm sipping on something, right? But more on a human. Just, brother, we have, life is balanced. You got north, you got south. So I don't have an issue with the ratchetness, but give us a full meal. You know what I'm saying? I like my ratchet music the nighttime I'm vibing, but I want to hear that during the day. You know, and I think that power to everyone doing what they do, but my lane, I'm going to bring you something to inspire you, man. I'm going to bring you something. Because I don't think we understand with this content revolution, brother, it's the new drugs.
Right.
It's that new, it could be heroin, brother. You know, and so I wanted to make sure as an artist, as a creator, we have a responsibility, man. If God gives you a gift, and you use it to lead people the wrong way, you're going to be dealt with. So I'm very conscious of what I put out. Very conscious. And NiteCap did his thing, man. And I took a break, though, because once again, the hurricanes and the Virgin Islands, that's where I'm from. Irma and Maria, I was down there. And I tell people that I don't wish that on my worst enemy, but if when you go through that, a third eye opens. You see the world differently. You see how unimportant you are in this cosmos. And you also see how important it is for you to be a village. Because, I nearly died in those storms, brother. I lost everything. Roof's gone, everything. And we had to rebuild everything. And I did these films, Paradise Discovered, Unearthing Who We Are. So I took a hiatus from NiteCap, to the anger. A lot of my supporters, a lot of people in the industry, one of my people, Peter done lost his mind. He went down there on some humanitarian mission at the peak of his career. This boy crazy. And I feel that purpose has been fulfilled. I look at God, I'm a God-fearing man. And people tell me, Peter, how you are able to keep going on with criticism or just the grind of being independent? It's because I welcome the applause and the boos in the same way. Like, if you love what I do, great. But I still got to do it because it's what God, this is my assignment. I don't get flowers for doing this. I think we all have an innate assignment. And I think our lives will not be fulfilled unless we complete that assignment. So I'm just a soldier in God's army, brother. And but now I'm back. We brought the show back. It's been tricky. We're going to get into that, because the climate has changed since I was around. And I'm happy to see so many people have access to do this. Because when I was doing it, it was nobody. It was me. This is Lit Facts. That was me. And then after me, Breakfast Club had started filming theirs.
Yeah.
And
what year did you start, if you don't mind, for the viewers?
2010, on my mother's birthday, June 30th, because I love my mother. So I incorporate her in every profound thing I do. So the first episode was June 30th, 2010, with a group you probably forgot about. Goons United by the New School. You remember them boys?
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, I think they're from Pompano, right?
I don't know where they're from. I heard of them. I don't know too much about them.
Wherever you are, my brother, that brother was amazing.
Oh, yeah. He from Pompano.
Oh, man, I don't know why. Brother, where you are, you need to get back on the mic. That brother, it was 4 of them.
Yeah.
And God bless Asante Samuels. At the time, he was, I guess, backing them with a record label. And I had reached out. There was a publicist working, it was a friend of mine. And I told her, I said, I have this vision. I believe storytelling has no limits. So I'm a writer, but I said, I've always had a third eye to see what's coming. And I said, man, things are going to get visual soon. Video is going to replace the written word as the means of communication. So I said, I want to film my interviews now. And he was with it.
Right.
I reached out to Dre Film. Remember Dre Film?
Yeah. That's a legend. He
was the first one. He filmed the first NiteCap. Damn. He edited and filmed the first NiteCap, homie, because I had got a distribution deal with NBC. We're going to get into that. People thought I was NBC owned the show. They never owned the show. He used to say NBC NiteCap. I just knew as a black man, y'all want to take me as serious if y'all think it was me. So I played a Kaza Sose. You know what I'm saying? I gave everybody the work and let them take the credit. Yeah. And then as it grew and I felt it was big enough and it acquired this cult following, which it did, I let the world know NiteCap was my NBC was my distributor. I would get the sponsors, we would bust down the money, but I own everything.
Right.
So that was a blessing, man, and it hit, and I'm here, and like I said, I'm navigating this new terrain of because I'm a trained journalist.
Yeah.
You know, but I'll tell you this, I believe in adaptation. I'll never hate on anybody's craft. I look at the world like, okay, I see what they're doing. I'll never be the guy who tells a youngin', man, y'all ain't, nah. I'll see what the youngin's doing, and I'll offer guidance if you want to take it. You know, but I also learn from the new age. I'm learning from all you guys. Like, you got the setup here. I'm learning myself, you know, because the meek shall inherit the earth, brother. Humility humility would get you very far in life. And so I'm seeing we doing things a little bit different.
Yeah.
It's let people talk more. And as a trade journalist, I guess I always try to protect the guests. So I'm like, man, I don't want them to say that. I don't want to hurt them. But hey, you know, it's a new terrain, and I'm happy to be back, and I've explored what's going on, my brother.
So you back?
I'm back.
A lot of the people who don't know you from the beginning.
Ain't that something? How the world is going fast?
Yeah.
So you get forgotten about fast in this new era, boy.
Yeah. So how you dealing with the people that's feeling like, you know, that don't know, you know, how long you been doing it, man?
We ain't gonna dance around it. So here I am in the islands helping my people, man. And the first time I heard NiteCap, I saw CNN with a nightcap. I was like, you know, that's what these white folks do. They've been stealing black art for years. So, you know, it hurt, but I said, whatever. Then one of my homies from Atlanta called me, and they were mad, bro, because the beauty, you'll be surprised who is in the NiteCap cult community. You will be surprised, brother. If you ask me, man, how this man has survived, brother, I got bloods in LA that sit watch my stuff, email me. I got billionaires in New York, a whole plethora. I mean, I relaunched the show with Giuliani. Giuliani was the first episode, so the NiteCap universe stretches far. So Carlos, some brother owned, because one of the homies in Atlanta, they would, Peter, you want us to go down there? I said, nah, man, because a friend of mine was working in a building in Atlanta, and they walk in and they see NiteCap. I said, here the hell we go again. And that bothered me too, because that's on. You know what I'm saying? But I ate that one. Okay, you know, imitation is the greatest honor, bro. Flattery is flattery. But then my brother, you know, Chad Ocho, and you gonna hear me, I'm talking to you, you know, I still love you. I see this NiteCap thing. I didn't know. Everybody's calling me. One of Trick's people called me mad. He's like, yo, Pete, I didn't want to tell you, man. I said, what? So I see the thing, NiteCap. I said, nah. Ocho was one of my first viral episodes. So my first ever viral NiteCap, before I didn't know what viral was, I bet you don't know who it was. Take a wild guess.
First viral?
The first viral NiteCap that just went viral.
Boosie?
Boosie went viral. Boosie's probably one of my biggest, but this was before Boosie.
Before Boosie?
Fat Boy, Rick Ross, man. Ross at King of Diamonds. Man, there was this thing where he said he blew $1 million at King of Diamonds. That was the first viral episode. And then the next viral episode was with Roxy Diaz on the boat from BET 106 in Park. And then Ocho, because we had a discussion about monogamy, and we did another episode about monogamy. And then it was Boosie and some others. So yeah, so when I saw the NiteCap, once again, brother, I made a vow to myself. Like I told you before the interview started, I would never use my voice to cause conflict or slander with another black man, because they've been doing that to us for years. So, you know, so I watched it, said, man, what's this? You know, and then everybody's calling me. That's what bothers me. Like, I'm like, okay, I'll deal with it. And I was like, cool, man. Let them brothers do their thing. And when I come back, we're gonna figure it out. You know, because to be fair, what they're doing is more light, more fun. I'm a more in-depth type of guy. And like I said, I believe we don't own anything in this world, brother. We don't own the land we live on. We just passing through. And so that's how I look at NiteCap and my art. If I created something that inspired you and you run with it, but at least come on, include me. Just that's the righteous thing to do. So we've had a conversation, and he said he's gonna put some things together with me and Shannon, and you know, it ain't happening yet. Right. But I still have no animosity, because I look at them brothers as they're iconic. You know, they're world-class athletes that the world adores. So I chop it up as we'll get to that. But let's just do the righteous thing. You know, let's do the righteous thing and show the babies unity and power together. You know, and because you know, bro, I'm not, like I said, I'm a man of honor and principle, brother. I probably wouldn't even said anything about this and moved on, let it run. Because my thing, if your art is great, it's gonna speak for itself. You can't. Somebody asked me the other day, Peter, do you fear how this new term where everybody's chasing relevancy? The creator is always relevant. Yeah. I'm in the DNA of this thing. I can never be irrelevant. That's like somebody telling Rakim he's irrelevant. The Godfather, the man who inspires him, can never be. I'm in the foundation of this.
Yeah.
And that's what really means something to me. So when I'm getting these DMs and these comments, and one recent comment was, "Oh, this idiot," and that's another thing. We gotta learn how to talk to each other as Black people in the public space, man. Even if you don't like what I do or you criticize me, we don't have to disrespect each other. So I'm getting commented, "Well, this idiot, he ain't original enough to start his own show. He got to steal people's names." Then that's why I'm speaking. Because my legacy is everything, brother.
Yeah, your legacy on the line.
Without your name, what you got? And so that's why I'm addressing that. So yes, I am the originator and creator of NiteCap.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
So in your mind, what's the correct way of y'all like figuring that situation out and resolving it?
He had mentioned that he's going to talk to Shanna about getting me on Shay to have a discussion just on the roots of everything. And, we'll see how that goes. It is what it is. For me, brother, it's all synergy, man, because we're not the same. What they do and I do is different, So anything could happen. We could collaborate, brother, I think I'm into collaboration. I think that's what hurts us as a people. This HNIC, somebody always got to be the man. And we got that issue in Miami. And I could speak on it because I am an architect, a lot of this Miami stuff. So I could speak on that because I'm in it. So I think egos, brother. Egos, man. I've been battling mine for years. Every year of my life, I have a goal, which is I work on something in my life that needs working on. So last year was love. I told every situation I'm going to approach with love. If you smack me, I'm going to say I love you. This year, it's still ego. That's the one thing so humility is what I pursue, my brother, because I know what it does. It's destroying us. Miami is so divided. Like, I think I love, I love Miami, man. Let me tell you why I love Miami. I was in New York writing for Time and Newsweek and all that, but my style wasn't, I've been called I'm not bougie enough. I ain't hood enough. I'm in this middle ground. And Miami itself is a rogue city, right? Miami's a place where up north, New York, LA, they look at Miami like this rogue, wild, wild west. And we're not as sophisticated or whatnot. And I find strength in that because it means we pushing. Cats gonna take it. We take it. We're not asking for permission. Nobody in Miami's we gonna go out there and we gonna hustle. And I love this city because this city made me an entrepreneur. See, up north, there's systems. You got infrastructure. It's jobs. You got media houses. You got record labels. You got writing houses, publishing houses. What we got, man? We got gangsters.
Got to get it out the muscle.
You got to get it out the muscle. See, Miami's a place, if you don't go get it, you will starve. Miami cats is like, brother, I ain't giving you no handout. I'm going to front you, but you got to go work. But what I love about this city, once you go work, you get out the mud, you're going to get your respect. And it built me into entrepreneur, running with Trick, man. When I was at Trick, they had launched Don't Go Out of Records. Remember that?
Yeah, for sure.
I was like in the genesis of that. And that was such a cool experience.
Talk to me about that experience.
Man, that's why I'm loving this interview. I get to somehow forget my story because it's so much.
Yeah.
It was crazy, bro. I get there and he had just said, we going independent. And Chuck, his brother, was running the label. And I was the author to write his book, but I became a lot of other things. So we had the studio down south. And we used to just be in there crafting the new sound, crafting everything, man. Down there just eating a lot of wings from Wingstop. And Trick was in a transition. I think the album he had his last album at the time for Atlantic was the one with Breaker.
Dade County on the number line. Yeah.
So after that this was his first, putting out an independent project. So what was so cool about it, to this day, is why I love hip hop. I'm not the biggest I can't sit and discuss, even you see my Nightcap show, I'm not going to sit and discuss bars, you know? I love hip-hop, but I like jazz too. So for my interview, I'm not going to sit and discuss the mechanics of the art form. That's lovely. What I love hip-hop is when I was with Trick and bruh, this is facts. It was customary for some of Trick homies to come out the pen, bro, after 3, 5, 6 years, and they just come into the studio, and he breaking everybody off. And now we got to find a role for this brother.
Yeah.
And for me, it was like, where would he work if not for us? This man people got records, man. Like, you got armed robbery, attempted murder. Who gonna hire you? So for me, when I look at hip hop, it's the American dream. You got cats who forced out of the mainstream, whatever reason, getting together, getting money together. I look at hip hop as an economic savior, like what the dope game was, right? I mean, it was the way the culture was. It was pimps first, and then dope boys, and then rap. Like, hip-hop became a new hustle, and that's why if you look at it, rappers emulate the dope boys, the lingo, the style, and everything. So for me, that was the experience, and we would be on the road, man, and you know Trick, man. Love him or hate him, Trick gonna be Trick, you know, and one of the coolest experiences, and I'm gonna tell you, I haven't told you about this, but the record is out there. We did a record. It's called The Interview. It was on his mixtape. Lord, I don't want to say it. The Baby's son. It was D and Dynamite. Remember that mixtape he did?
Dick and Dynamite.
Yeah, so you said
Dick and Dynamite.
So I'm on that album, man, and I remember it was Thanksgiving weekend in Chronic. My man Chris, his engineer, who's managing him now. You know who Chronic?
Yeah, that's my man. That's his go-to
my brother,
guy.
Man. That's my man. And even that process, I'll be real with y'all. You know, I'm coming from corporate America, man. I'm coming from a suit tie type of world. And I'm like the only suit tie in the whole building. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming some mornings, somebody getting some. I remember one time I come down there, Trick at the door, and somebody, yo, Pete, no, he can't come in here right now. He gonna come in there, right? You know, we don't hear that. Stay outside. There was some stuff going on.
Yeah.
And it was like, nah, Pete, you gonna come in here with you. Nobody wanna hear that. You know, so it was a lot of those. There's a lot of things I saw that I will never speak about, because something you take to your grave. That's this man code. But it was, brother, I remember one time, you're gonna get mad, I'm gonna tell this story, Mike, but we down south somewhere. Trick I used to go by Trick house like every morning. Trick wakes up early. That's how he gets his inspiration. And I'll go by him like 6, 7, and we just riding, bro. And I got the recording, he's telling me his stories, and thank God I still got those cassettes. You know, I got that history, like 20 cassettes of Trick telling me his life story, stuff that didn't make it in the book yet. Yeah. And we would just ride around everywhere, bro. We would go everywhere. So one night, you know, he loves his dive spots. You know, he ain't doing all that red car, that bougie, you know, he ain't doing South Beach. I would get upset, because I'm like, man, let's go to the beach, man, pop some bottles, man. Peter, you with that bougie. We somewhere, man. And Trick at that time used to have real beef. You know, and it wasn't nothing he caused. Miami, just some cats, it's Miami. Right. Some cats is trying to get at you because you that guy. It's just the way it is, which is sad. And it was a lot of those moments, man. And I remember Trick look at me, nigga, you gonna die with me? I said, shit, what the hell you telling? You wanna die with me, nigga? You know, but it was just an initiation. And I thank him, and I thank all them brothers, Chico, Bean. It was a crew of us, man. And that at that time, the dunk rock fella. Y'all remember Fella? Yeah. Fella and Berg, we had just signed them. And I always knew Berg was special, man. I remember we were like a family, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I remember we was literally like a family. The whole label, the whole crew was like a family. And I remember me and Chuck, his brother, we down there on South Beach on Ocean, because Trick had a show, I think, at Mansion. This was spring break, Memorial Day weekend. And we see these girls just screaming. Like, ah! So we think it is, you know, freaking Morris Chestnut, Boris Kojo, somebody of that nature. So we see Berg come around the corner. I said, yo, this boy a star. Yeah. Because it's poxy. You get the girls, you get the fellas. And I said, yo, Berg is special. Because what made Berg different, at that time, he was about that now. You know, the boys are city boys. So it was a lot of pressure in the city at that time. You know, the boys had a lot of. But Berg, to see what he's doing now, Berg always was cerebral. As me and him would have discussions, and I think that's how he was drawn to me. Because, you know, I'm on my intellectual vibe all the time, and Berg, that's what he was about. So people say he's weird. It's not weird. Berg was always about Black empowerment and Malcolm and Bob and living off the land and being a revolutionary.
Right,
so
right.
to see what he's doing now, but he was always special. So to see that he crafted, he came and became who he wanted to be, I respect him for that. But that was a cool experience to have this youngin' that we were kind of shepherding, you know what I'm saying? Being big brother type things. Because by default, I became a big brother because it was me, you know, Trick will be Trick. And it's like, so I'm writing a book, but I'm also kind of navigating this label, man. And what I miss the most is the brotherhood. What I miss the most is, you know, I've been around this industry, man. I've been around most of your stars in very private settings. I've lived in New York all around. I don't think there's realer people in Miami. I think cats in Miami may get a bad, like, that we're not friendly, standoffish. It's because we don't like fake. And that whole experience was real, man. It was just a real experience, dog. It was amazing.
That's crazy, because when I first used to tune in to the Nightcap,
yeah,
I was always wondering, I'm like, damn, what Peter Bailey and Bird got in common? Because, you know, I've seen Bird on your show a couple of times, but back then, like, I never knew, like, how the connection came about.
At that time, he was like my little brother.
Yeah, I never knew how the connection came about.
Oh, wow. At that time, he was my little brother. But one of the most memorable experience was Finally Famous. Remember that independent album?
Yeah. That's the independent album.
I was a part of that whole process, bro. From we looking at the cover, the disc, the that. Shout out to JC. JC was Trick say, I don't know if you ever seen it. You know, he say he regret putting out that album. I know. So
what's your thoughts on that?
I don't know if I should even claim that. I did not pick the cover.
Yeah.
Okay. It could have been done. The packaging of it could have been done. A lot of things could be done better. I won't elaborate on who's to blame or whatnot, but I saw the process, and yeah, he wasn't happy. Remember, you gotta think about it, right? You a mega star, bro. You a superstar. You an icon. You a pioneer. When Trick came out, he was that guy in the South. The only rapper to capture from the South, that captured that type of momentum, was Jesus. It was the only Southern really capture it was only Trick. When that whole I'm a Thug, that album, that video came out, America had never seen that before. America had never seen such a raw, America had never seen a cat just come out the bed, put a shirt on. You know, they didn't see that. So to compare that now, okay, now you're independent. You a mega star. You basically carrying a label in Atlantic. And now you're doing it yourself. So yeah, some mistakes were made, you know, and not on Trick's part. You know, it wasn't him at all. Some mistakes were made. But to me, I chalk it up as the growing pains of going independent to some degree. Whether you got people around you that ain't doing the right thing or not righteous with it, that's just the independent game, right?
Right, for sure.
And you don't have all the big budgets and the big support. But yeah, he does know. Yeah, right. I don't think that's one of the problems that happened. But for me, it was just cool to see the process of an artist like Trick create his art, bro. Because that man can make hits in his sleep. He's just born for hits, man. So there's a lot of stories, bro. There's so much I can't count.
So you just recently, last night, Barry University?
Barry University. We just came from Barry.
Talk to me about that.
So Miami Kingpins, the real Scarfaces. Ted Lucas called me a couple years ago. People don't understand Miami Kingpins, the docu-series based on Convertible Burt, Boss Man, and Bo Diddley. Brother, we took 5 years on that. And people don't understand. Somebody at the screen said, man, this thing is how y'all got all this footage and 5 years of our lives, bro. So when Ted asked me to take on the project to direct and narrate, Josh Burke was involved too. And then Ross came along. They had sent Ross the trailer that I did. And I respect Ross. Like I said, he's always respected my craft, my craft. And he came on board as executive producer as well. And I'm going to claim it. And we saw Cocaine Cowboy. Shout out to Billy Corbin. That film is iconic. He shaped cinema. Like that documentary. So many things come out of Miami that shape culture. He just don't get the credit. The the Cocaine Cowboys, it set a standard in documentaries. Before that, documentaries weren't as hip in your face, and it was different. It was bold, and it became a cult classic. When I first moved to Miami, I was at Time Magazine, and I took the job at the Miami Herald because I'm from the Virgin Islands, and my father had Alzheimer's, he got sick, so I wanted to be closer to St. Thomas, where I go back and forth a lot. I've been living this bi-coastal thing for a minute now. To take care of him, I started writing for the Herald, and then Cocaine Cowboys, the first, as I'm in the city, my cousin said, yo, you got to watch this. Because I moved down here in 2005. And that was the first film I saw on Miami. And look at here now, what is it, years later, Tez was like, Peter, we got to tell a black story, man. Like, you that guy, that's your whole craft. Like, you, in the Herald, your crusade is to elevate the stories of Black Miami, Peter, but no one ever talks about the black dude, the guys that took the hits, the losses, right? That is almost like we say in a documentary, black people, man, we're always a sacrificial lamb, right? I mean, this is what the cocaine capital, Magic City. Brickell was built up by dope money. The Colombians have done well. Every other community got the work, turned it, flipped it, and now on Legal Street. Black Miami just got wiped out. It didn't benefit us like that. So that story needed to be told. So we're like, Peter, we need to tell a black story, man. And I remember interviewing Ross up at, man, if you ever get to go to Ross's Promised Land, just be inspired, man.
Yeah.
It's just inspirational, bro.
Yeah.
Like, we did the interview in his office. I said, man, he looked at it, I said, Ross, he said, yeah. He said, so there's one for the interview. And I said, Ross, this is the dope boy's dream. He said, he said, you right, this is the dope boy's dream. But the house is, I think it's the largest private residence in the continental United States, bro.
Yeah.
It's something, it's a dream, man. And Ross being Ross, he's a mad scientist. So when we pulled up, guess who in front guarding the damn palace? The police, man.
Yeah.
Former dope boy got the cops guarding this spot. Think about it. So we decided that this story needed to be told because the Miami Kingpins is the American story. The American story is taking nothing, man, and taking them lemons and making sweet lemonade. And that's what them boys did. Now, it's funny, they'll tell you this, Bert would tell you, everybody tell you this. I grew up in St. Thomas, and like anywhere else, Jay-Z, the record, St. Thomas, that was me first. Everybody knows St. Thomas been the plug, right? But that was personal for me because as a kid, I saw when the dope happened in the 80s, it wiped out my community. So as a kid, I was a kid in the neighborhood that my parents, we weren't rich, but my parents, they were like the ones that, you remember Boys in the Hood, that family in the hood, but the parents kind of together with and they trying to set a guard, trying to save you straight. Like the kids and they would come to my father's house and he get him some guidance. My mom was a nurse. So everybody's getting wiped out by crack. And everybody. And I hated drug dealers. I really felt like these guys came in my home and was holding us hostage. And that was my own prejudice. And I think why Miami Kingpins, when we debuted with the top 10 films on Amazon Prime, but we don't want awards, the people have been calling me, the people that's been calling me about this series is because, when art is at its best? When you try to confront your own demons. If you look at a great artist, look at Usher. Remember when Usher came out with Confessions?
Yeah.
So Kingpins was all of us dealing with our own demons. My demons of being a black man from this same community that didn't sell drugs, and then me thinking because of that I'm better. And I look at life different. That was my own judgment, right? Everybody different, bro. Some people got different skill sets, whatever. So that series is me confronting how do we deal with this thing that wiped out our community, but also help people survive. It's like, it's uncompromising, right? It's like, I always say a lot of us get stuck doing wrong, trying to get the right.
Damn, that's deep.
Yeah, a lot of us get stuck doing wrong, trying to get the right. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at them brothers. And when I started getting into the story, like his son, Convertible Bert Jr., that was at the screening last night, boy, he gave people goosebumps telling this story. And I always tell people in the Kingpin story, Junior's story is so important to me. Like to me, is the silent star of the series. Because for those outside the life, larger America, they want to know about the kids. Like, was it you growing up with your father locked down? That's the human story. So I wanted to make a story relatable to people beyond the life. Because that's the problem with this country. That's why nothing is changing. We all talking to each other. We got to start talking to people on the other side of the fence. And that's what we try to do. And it begins in the McDuffie riots because I said, we're not doing no gimmick. Every time we do Black stories, it's some old gimmick about the cars and the women. And no, we're going to set the tone of the environment that made a man sell poison to sometimes his own mother. And we showed out the McDuffie riots. Because of those riots, everything got wiped out. There were no jobs. There was no money. There was no opportunity to make anything. And that's how the drug trade. It filled that vacuum.
They put our people back against the wall.
It filled that vacuum. And all of that is told. And each episode is 1 hour long. So at Barry, it was beautiful because we were trying to work on this for years. Because the cops were like, man, we don't know. Is this glorifying drug dealing? And we don't know. And I said, no, this is history. It's uncompromised and it may be ugly, but it's American history. So we were nervous last night preparing for everything. We had professors there. The NAACP co-hosted it. South Florida people of color. My point is, this was not your typical audience that will watch the Miami Kingpins. Brother, them people didn't want to leave. After the screening, the questions, and this lady stood up. I'm blessed that she did. It was a crew of people that came from the neighborhood. This lady got up and said, young man, y'all don't have to apologize. Those guys, I'm telling you right now, I was getting evicted. Them guys paid my rent, gave me money to send my kid to college, gave my auntie money for her medical bills. So she said, without them, I wouldn't be here. So you don't got to apologize for nothing. And to me, one of the most iconic lines in the series, because we go to Atlanta. Remember when Bird left there, he had to run because the cops were trying to kill him. He went to Atlanta. Y'all know what's funny? You know Miami, man, we got an ego. We ain't gonna give you too much flowers. Them people in Atlanta love Birdman. Up there, he's called Goldie, though. He's known as Goldie up there. That's where the cops gonna get him up there. And my man, Big Block, shout out to that brother, good brother. Remember Big Block for Bad Boy South?
Yeah.
So Block is in the series. And I challenged Block. I say, Block, what about people that say these dudes are villains? He said, well, P, if they say Bird a villain, they're on the other side of the field. And that speaks to me. And that's the whole concept. With my work, brother, even with the Magic City book, even Nightcap, I don't got all the answers, man. I think the problem with the world is we get on these mics and we got an agenda. The brothers who done been hurt by women, they get on here mad at women. The women, they're mad at, bro, getting mad at. We taking our trauma out in this instead of going fixing ourselves, getting help and healing properly. There was a time, brother, when he hurt, bro, that's part of life. You're going to get your heart broke. Your man might backdoor you. That's part of life. Human growth is, okay, dealing with that pain, rising above it, and becoming a complete self. You know what we doing on these mics? We not advancing. We stay in our trauma and finding a group of people to suffer with, and we just in this cycle. Like, women ain't this, men ain't this. Nah, you got to check yourself. You know what I'm saying? You out here mad at women. Is it because you got to, you know what I'm saying? So I try not to do that. With my work, bro, I really, and I'm saying this so seriously, when you watch any art I create, I want you to leave either inspired, I want you to leave educated, I want you to leave better. I want you to leave better, bro. I don't want to feed whatever nonsense you got going on in power. Like, if you mad at the world, I don't want you to get, oh yeah, this is why I'm mad at the world. Nah, we got to get uncomfortable. Bro, growth is being uncomfortable. Bro, no one wants to change. That's why a lot of people who suffer, struggling, or impoverished, they're like, why they can't get out? Because maybe the devil, I know struggle, Peter. I'm struggling, but I know it, so I'm okay with it. So, but people gotta understand, bro, your greatest life is on the other side of fear.
Right.
That's just how it goes. So with my work, I'm gonna challenge you, bro. I'm gonna make you look at the world like you never looked at it before. And that's what we strive to do with Miami Kingpins, and we did that, judging by the screening last night. And that was a test, because we screened it, like I said, at the audience that would know it. It's an audience that usually wouldn't turn that on. This is an audience that I say those guys are scum, and they sat and received it and gave us a standing ovation. It was lovely, bro.
So what's next with the Miami Kingpins?
We have I guess I'll break it on here. There is a sequel coming out. The whole vision for Kingpins was basically the franchise, right? So we had the first 3 episodes we got next week, because the funny thing is, bro, after the first episode, man, I got every gangster this side of Mississippi, Philly. Yo, my story next. So we don't, bro, we have a backlog. We don't have a problem with getting the stories told. We got to now sit and decide, I don't like that word worthy, but who needs that story told next? That's what we're working on now. That's what took basically picking who's working on it. We got a few people and we trim it down.
So y'all got to sit down and do your homework to make that decision now.
I know, because see how you said that? In Miami, these guys are folklores, bro. And we take them serious. So you had some people, man, I saw y'all do this. But what about so-and-so, Rich Brownlee? What about this person? It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming, man. It's coming.
What about the women? Y'all can't leave them out now.
Vonda, that's overtime, right? Yeah. There's people. It's coming. Actually, Celeste, Celeste been DMing me. Y'all don't got no love for the women?
Yeah.
So Celeste, we coming.
Yeah, she pulling up tomorrow.
Look at that. See, look at that.
Yeah.
You ain't got Celeste, we coming.
Yeah.
But I also have my films in the Caribbean, Paradise Discovered. That's out now, too. The 3-part series about surviving the hurricanes or whatnot. And it's funny. I don't know if this is bittersweet, but I tell people, I love Kingpins, y'all, but we got hurricane survivors, too, so, but it's all a blessing, man. It's all a blessing, brother.
So talk to me about, like, dealing with those hurricanes, like, firsthand, man, like, just seeing them storms come through and really, like, tear up the whole neighborhood,
I'll
man.
tell the world this, bro. I've been in 11 hurricanes. Like, me and Hurricane got some weird love affair going. One of my first stories in Time magazine was about how hurricanes got their name. Hurricane Hugo hit on my birthday in '89. Maryland hit on my birthday. So I've been dealing with them for years. But this new stuff, I'll tell people this. If you don't believe in climate change, it's because you wasn't in them hurricanes. What we face was what's coming for the rest of the world. And what's sad is the people in the Caribbean, we're not the ones adding to the pollution that's messing up the ozone layer that's causing climate change. Climate change is essential. Basically, the concept is our pollutions and gases are making the world too hot, and it's just messing up the ecosystem. So hurricanes form intensely when hot air mixes, right? And that's what's going on. And bro, when that thing, I remember literally thinking my world, I said, is hell? Are we like, I literally thought that it was, bro, imagine in Hurricane Maryland for 17 hours, every second, I'm waiting to die. You look outside, bro, I'm seeing people's roofs flying, cows flying, light poles, boats. It was like the apocalypse. And I thought, like, okay, the world may be coming to an end and we the first to go. That's how he felt. And you know what's funny in that moment? I don't know how cats feel when they about to die, but I could see how I felt. I guess dying in some street stuff, whatever, I guess, is terrible, but you could count it as a man-made thing. If I wasn't in this scenario, I wouldn't. But a natural disaster is different because you're like, what the hell I did to deserve all this? And I was preparing to die. And I remember exactly how I felt. You know what happens when you feel like that? I don't know, other people, I think your whole life flashes in front of you. You start thinking about the stuff you wish you could have did and you didn't do. And then you start sadly thinking about all the people that wronged you and got away with it and you about to die and you can't get back. I'm being real. You think about all the dirt bags that wronged you and got away with it and they getting scot-free. I'm just keeping it real. People talk all this. People like to get on this camera and say stuff that sound good. I'm not doing that. That's real, bro. I thought about ex-girlfriends. I thought about partners that stole from me. I said, man, they get to get away. But what hurt me most was my elderly parents. Like, they don't deserve this. They don't deserve to die like this. Because the way what was happening, the house just keeps rocking. It's the storm, and we in a concrete big ass, and it's rocking. And you seeing roofs flying. So I'm thinking this thing will eventually cave in and we gone. And I just was praying, man, just getting ready. Real talk, I was getting ready. And my mother, I don't know what happened. She just got this, them old island black women. She started praying, bro, praying. In the name of Jesus, you're going to get, blah, blah, blah. And she just praying. All of a sudden, I'm starting to feel, and I'm not saying she caused it, but after a while, maybe it was timing, maybe it was by the end, and it just started to, no, it started to die down and we happy, but there's a danger of hurricanes. There's a moment the eye is passing, so you think the storm is over, but there's the danger of it. The strongest part of this hurricane is in the inner eye. So as that calm passes, all hell, that's when I said, okay, we dead. Yeah. It's like, okay, this can't be real. We about to die now. She just kept praying, man. Eventually passed. But when we went outside, I can't even explain that.
Yeah.
That was like some I Am Legend, bro.
So right now, you currently like staying in Miami 2 weeks.
I come up here to film the show at the studio and go because still home, we still rebuilding. It's not an economic option. So I come up here to do my business, and mom had a stroke. So I've been going on there to look out for her. It's been a blessing. But you asked about the storms, it's made me a better person. I look at the whole, bro, if you petty, don't be around me. If it ain't some life or death stuff, I don't want to deal with it. Like, when you face stuff like that, you see what's important. You see another thing what happens, real talk. When the electricity, because we were out of electricity for 3 months in the dark, cooking outside. And that was the beauty of the story. I got back to my roots. How African people live, bro. Farming, planting, cooking outside. I got back to that. And it was healthy. But another thing, so when the internet and the phones come back on, you know what you're thinking? Checking that phone to see who was checking on you, dog.
Damn.
You literally open that phone and everybody in checking on me, I deleted them to this day, dog. It got cats calling me to this day, don't know why they can't talk to me. So now y'all know. I checked that phone. I don't know if cats in prison. One of my homies was locked up, felt that way too. He said, man, I checked who wrote them letters. Bro, open my phone, and if you did not send me a text, dog, you okay? I'm done with you.
Yeah.
And now y'all know. And maybe that's my trauma that I need to work on and get therapy for. But like I said, I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm a man trying to do better and grow, man, and just be real.
So talk to me about some of the behind the scenes work that goes into putting these docuseries together.
Oh, man. It's going on right now.
Yeah.
Let's just be real, right? So with my work, I tell people all the time, being a director, films are very interesting, right? Because films are like a developer. You got to take this grand idea and get everybody on the same page to execute it. But with a film, what's different is everybody is a genius in their own right. Remember, a film incorporates so many different artists. You got the sound guy, the soundtrack. He a musician. Remember, he think he on top of his game. You got the colorist, you got the editor, you got the narrator. You touching so much different artists and everyone has egos. So your goal is to put everybody together and get everybody on one accord to execute this common vision. So I'm going to put it out there. It's the Miami Kingpins. How much ego you think we been? This is the Kingpins, brother.
Yeah.
So Bird, Boss Man, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I love the fact y'all even elevated my manhood. Because dealing with those, I ain't gonna say dealing, that's having the respect and honor to work under these guys, these folklores, and being granted, brother. Because, being a journalist and a storyteller, that's an honor for people to invite you in their life story. And I take that serious. So I learned from them. One time I was going through something with this girl, I'll never forget it. And I called Bo. We had Bert, we had these conversations. I said, Bert. He said, Peter, there you go. Bert talks in them older cats, them poets, them riddles.
Yeah.
And you got to catch it. So he was like, the fact you calling, you know something wrong. Say enough. I got to go, nephew. It's like, he said, Peter, what were you talking about? Pete, the fact you calling, you know something wrong.
Yeah.
And the fact you calling. And Bert would just give me a lot of gems, man. And I appreciate him for that, bro. Bowen. So being with those guys, I learned, man. I learned a lot.
Who would you say had the biggest ego?
Oh, Lord, why you trying to get me in trouble, man? Man, you talking about the Kingpins. You talking about Bo Diddley, that in his prime was making $50 million a year. M's. Bird, I think he had forgot he had 6 M's somewhere, but like, so, you know, when I say ego is a strong word. It comes with power, right? If you a powerful brother, you're gonna walk with that power. So all them guys, man, know who they are. So the righteous thing that I respect about those guys is word is everything. Word is everything. Those guys live by a code. You know, people talk about gangsters and being scary. Let me tell you something. The beauty of my career, I just had a politician commissioner on NiteCap a couple of days ago, yesterday or whatever it was. Those guys live by a certain respect and a code that they don't have to sign nothing. See, let me tell you about contracts and all this paperwork. Remember, I'm on the corporate side of things. When a man give you a contract, that's good business, but it's all rooted in you fearing somebody might not keep their word, right? You fearing that. Those guys live on a handshake. So when you think about the streets, now that I've been initiated to some degree, it's all about your word. You know, you safe, you good. Bro, in this life, this is what I believe. You could walk in the jungle with the killers, the anything. But if you just a righteous man, bro, and you walk with purity and you do right by people, bro, and you just be right by people, usually you'll be all right. Usually you'll be all right.
I totally agree.
So years ago, before I was initiated, I'll read the paper, somebody got shot in the head, dumped somewhere. You know now what I do? What did they do? What did they do? You know, so I just live by that. So even in the streets, like just discussing with Bird and everything, a lot of that was, if you say, hey, Peter, if you tell me it's $10, it's $10. If it ain't $10, tell me it ain't $10, but don't come back with 5. Just keep your word.
Yeah.
You know, that's something that they live by that code. They live by it. And I guess sadly, that culture is fading, man. We in a culture now where rappers are bragging about being shiesty, like backdooring people. Like it's cool to be sliming people and backdooring. What is this? What is this? You know, so it's just different. And me and Bert talk about that all the time. It'll be a Bert would talk. He said, man, I don't know, Pete. I don't know if you put stupid and stupid, you get stupid. I don't know. I don't get it. We done left it. We was doping because we had to survive. He said, these boys rich. But that's Bert. Bert don't badmouth nobody. He just give that older wisdom. So he'll say, Pete, I just don't understand. Why would you get out the trenches, make a lot of money, and then want to be a part of something that might destroy you? You know, so even me, I don't understand it. I don't.
No, it's different now, man. The morals and the principles out the door.
We're talking about smoking on people. This drilled me where I'm smoking on some dead person.
Yeah.
Like, why are you smoking on dead people, man? Like, whatever issue you have with somebody, they dead, I think it's been settled.
Yeah, it's over with.
Why are we talking about a dead person?
Yeah.
And I'll go further. We are what we say, right? Literally, words of power. Like, none of this really exists. What's really real is what we create in our minds, right? This coffee didn't exist. That was manifestation. This studio y'all built was an idea you had and you manifested. So when I say nothing ain't real, the only real thing is here. Even now, when I was a kid, street gangster and whatever, a lot of them guys were just a means to an end. If you could have did something else, you would have did something else. Now why I'm scared, this new thuggery is manufactured.
Damn.
They manufacture thugs. So it's mindless. They shooting at kids. They in the church because it's not real. It's like if you listen to the music, the lyrics, I'll be like, y'all just saying stuff to get a reaction? Like, I don't know what you saying. Bro, like I said, when you get on a mic, at least know what you saying. And it's so you got kids growing up that have been manufactured into being a thug. So they don't know the rules. They don't know why they're doing it. They just know they got to kill somebody and catch a body. And in the media with this catch a body, that's a human, man. What we talking? What catch a body? It's just weird to me, brother. It's beyond weird. It's painful to me to see it. You know, because I got little cousins, I got little youngins that look up to me. And one of them the other day was like, Larry told me, Pete, you know, if I got to get relevant, I got to kill somebody. Like, look at the artistry. Every time a rapper kills somebody or go to prison, they come out bigger.
Yeah.
So let's take it further. I know the record labels. all them people went to college with me. So they know better. I remember SD. I did a show in NiteCap with SD, the boy from Chief Keef. Remember that record, Chief Keef? That's I Don't Like. So SD was one of the boys in the crew. I interviewed SD. I'm looking at this little young kid, and I could see he just lost, bro. Just lost. But I could tell that boy, he do what he do. You know, you can read a person's energy. See, dark energy, you can't hide dark energy. I don't care what nobody say. And taking a life, man, it's like that's, you crossing universal boundary. Remember, universe got lost. And if I didn't give life, I ain't got no right to take it. So when you start taking it, you're talking about catching bodies, understand just what you're doing. Understand coming against universal laws now. So understand you're going to see that person in your sleep, unless you're a sociopath. Unless you're just a disconnected type of person, you're going to deal with that. And so I'm sitting with SD, and I'm feeling this energy. I said, man, why y'all kill each other? You know, that boy told me, man, he didn't really can't answer. Because, we in society try to come up with some kind of, it must be some real reasoning behind this. So he broke it down. He said, Peter, I ain't gonna lie to you. Sometimes, man, cats just we itching to kill. He said, Peter, there's a block where our ops are like 2 blocks over. That's kind of like Miami. When them boys from Lincoln Fields was beefing with pork and beans, and they is that the neighborhood? And they right there, he literally said, Peter, we literally wake up hoping, itching to catch him. So that's like, I just want to kill. So he said, Peter, understand, my uncle could have did something, and they just keep going. He's like, my uncle them shot somebody, one of their cousins back and they just keep going. They keep going. What he described in Chicago, man, that's something different.
Yeah.
That's something different. I remember I was supposed to go out there with the Relaunch to do a nightcap with him. I remember my man Josh Red said, Pino, I got to make some calls out there. Chicago different. So SD tell him he good. He said, Peter, ain't nobody good in Chicago. Ain't nobody good in Chicago. And just listen, and he opened up to me. And after the interview, I'll never forget this. Man, that shit brought tears in my head. But when little brother came to me, he said, man, I ain't never really had no father like that, like somebody I look up to, dog. He said, can you call me sometimes, give me some knowledge? Little youngin' told me that. So he told me, the boy ain't bad, he just don't know nothing.
Right.
He has no blueprint or example. So that's when I say about judgment. I got a rule. If you see a girl tricking, if you're not helping her and she got a baby and you're not helping her pay that rent and she got to go do it, I have no right to say nothing about her. If I'm not trying to help you in a situation, I have no right to talk about you. That's a code I live by. So working in this genre, just doing what I do, it's a blessing, bro, because on any given day, I could be sitting with a billionaire or SD. So I have this perspective from so many worlds. And to me, it's made me a very complete human being.
Who's been your biggest guest on the Nightcap?
I just had Rudy Giuliani.
Talk to me about that.
Then you get bigger than Rudy.
Yeah, talk
I've
to
had
me
Mike
about that.
Tyson. I've had Don Peebles, the billionaire. I've had Mike Epps, man, everybody, 50. But it's Rudy, man.
Yeah, talk to me about Rudy, man.
You know what's so interesting? And it hurts my heart. Some of my hardcore supporters really mad with me about this. Because, the whole Trump thing. But what did I say earlier? We got to talk to the other side. I may not agree with the other side, but I want to know what's going on with it. And the Rudy interview, when you get time to look at it, it blew my mind. He a cool cat. And he real. I ain't gonna lie. Look, this how I judge life. I could interview you, but I say, would I just go kick it with you? Would I go drink a beer with you? I would drink a beer, Rudy, bro. Yeah. Rudy. Now, a lot of my peers in New York, family in New York, hate the man. Because, for people to understand New York, he cleaned up New York on this crusade, but a lot of black people got locked up. And people think he's racist, so I challenged him with that. I don't soft soap anything. You know what he told me? And he broke it down. He said, Peter, racist. He said, Peter, I'm a New Yorker. And he has a point. It's very hard for people in New York to be racist. New York is so diverse, bro. Like, it's hard. Because New York, when you get on the subway, what makes New York profound is not New York, it's the way the transportation is set up. The problem we have in Miami-Dade, we have no connected transport. What does that do? We all get in our cars, put up the windows, so we're isolated from differences. New York isn't like that. On a subway in New York, a billionaire CEO, a Wall Street guy, a stepper from the Bronx, a Boricua from Drew, they're all on the same damn train. So they're kind of forced to be exposed to each other on some level. So Rudy kind of broke that down, and I can understand what he's saying. But furthermore, he just looked at the data. He said, Peter, it wasn't a black thing. It was in the city of New York for whatever reason. And he said, and I don't believe black people kill each other more than white people. And he broke it down, and you could watch him. He said, Peter, I'm Italian. You see the mob? He said, Peter, who the hell worse than the mob? We chop people's heads off. So he said, when some of my white people, oh, black people, he said, black people, look at Vito and them boys. What are you doing? So he's just a real guy. So he said, Peter, what it was in a certain section that just happened to be a black section, there were 70% more murders. So we just put more cops wherever the murders were. So he just gave me some insight. But the beauty, of course, everybody want to know the Trump, right? What he thinks about the whole Trump relationship. That's his man. And I don't know if Rudy meant to do this, but he said, I asked him, man, that man racist. He said, Peter, the only color that Trump believe in is green. Yeah. He said it in the interview. Yeah. I don't know if people caught it, but he said, Peter, the only color that man believe in, he is green. So it was great to get insight, but the Rudy connection was interesting. My first journalism job was at the Village Voice in New York. And for those who are not familiar with the Village Voice is the most left-wing, alternative, like radical newspaper in the country. And at the time, Wayne Barrett, who I was assigned to, that was a crazy story too, because I was in college and I got a break, right? I got to get in a big paper to break. So I send my resume, everything out, and Wayne calls me. Wayne is this legendary journalist. And he says, man, I don't know you, bro, but I kind of like you, man, but I ain't really got no job for you. I said, man, whatever I could take. So he said, well, the thing is, you have to show a place already. You got a house here? Man, I lied, bro. I had nothing. Man, I had nothing. So this lady from my childhood, she was a living maid in this lady's house. So she said, all right, I'm going to go live with the lady, and you can live in a little basement apartment that I got in Far Rockaway, bro. Far Rockaway. I don't know about it now, but if you ever know anything about Far Rockaway, bro, that's like New York's dead zone, man. Bro, it's like I would literally come home and every night some cops is banging on my door, somebody got shot. I would ride that A train. The A train in New York is iconic. There's a song about the A train because it crosses the whole city. And I would get on that A train because the Far Rock is the last stop, bro. And you get on that train, bro. You had cats just walking around sticking cats with needles, HIV needles. You got some cats who try to push you off the tracks. It was crazy, bro. I used to pray to get, and it's crazy. I would be in this dead zone, and then as the train crosses in the Manhattan downtown, all the rich people. So I'm living this like duality where I'm at the Village Voice with the rich kids, and I leave, and I'm in the hellhole, man. And it changed my life. And I guess I've always lived in dualities. Even like now, I go back and forth between here and the islands. But it's given me an understanding. It's giving me an understanding. And go back to Rudy, Wayne Barrett, my first day at the Village Voice, Rudy Giuliani was his last year as mayor. He had retired or just retired. And he had his mayoral papers. He was trying to store them in a place called a Fortress in Long Island City in Queens. So Wayne at the time is his enemy. Like Wayne thinks he's a crook, he's a corrupt, whatever, and he's obsessed. So Wayne says, man, you gonna go down there and go get them papers, whether you gotta be investigative, you gonna pretend to be a construction worker, or don't come back to this office. And I went down there and tried to get the info and all that. And the funny part was, so he does this, he writes this book, The Biography of Rudy, it's out. And it turns into a USA movie. It's on USA. So Wayne calls me. He said, you see that scene with the black dude? It's there some white dude, F you cracker or something like that? That's you. I based that character on you. Because back then I was called a radical. I was very revolutionary, very much into Malcolm. And that's something I always remember. But I say that. So I'm interviewing Rudy. And I said, Rudy, I got to tell you, we got an inside commonality. He said, what? He said, I worked on the Wayne. Look, if you see the interview, you can see a bond was formed. He said, what? So he said, that was my best friend. I didn't know that part. And I guess they fell out, man. So it's just, I tell that story because, and I tell kids this, you will be surprised with your dreams. The world is created by people with imagination, bro. And I remember being on St. Thomas, it's an island, bro. I used to go out to this part of the rocky coast where nobody would be, and I'll just dream. I'll stand on a rock and I'll pretend to see New York. I'll pretend to see LA. I'll pretend to see this. And this might sound cliche, but I'm not a guy by chance. Everything I'm doing, I thought as a child. I didn't particularly know I was going to write Trick Daddy's book, but everything I'm doing, I manifested it, man. It ain't by I manifest stuff, bro. And it's really about believing in something so strong, bro. The universe is like this. It's a cycle of life, right? So we got to add to it. And that's why the universe favors creators. The universe favors artists because we're creating new things. You built a show. You're adding. You're not taking. And once you live by that rule that you were born to add more than you take, that's what we're born for. We got to add something. We were born to help. And once you chase that, the money will come. And that's what I live by. So even now I get goosebumps sometimes in my life, bro.
Yeah.
Even now because, bro, I'm like, me and my brother probably the only in my block in St. Thomas to go graduate college and stuff. It's St. Thomas, man. It's just like here, bro.
Yeah.
It's just, we steppers all just like here. And you got the Ritz, it's a small place, but it's segregated just like here with economics.
Yeah.
And for me to just be here, bro, that's why I'm grateful, bro. I live a life where I thank God every day. And I think if you live a life rooted in gratitude, you're really never unhappy.
Yeah, that's deep.
If you always look at the good side of things, you're never really unhappy.
So at this point, with everything you done been through in life,
Yes, sir.
What's the current mission for you?
Taking NiteCap back to where it is so nobody's saying I stole something. But just keep telling our stories in our voice, in the way we need to be told and represented in whatever means that is now with a NiteCap. Now the product. So my thing was, George Foreman made more money from grills than boxing. Jordan made more money from them sneakers than basketball. You got to have product. That's where black people, and that's why I respect Master B, he keeps talking about product. Black people by nature are consumers, man. We always buying something. We're not creating anything. Think about it. We don't have institutions. We don't own hospitals. We don't own schools. We don't own our food. So for me, this is revolution because you think about everything. Walt Disney, he got a whole, we don't have product. We need product because once you have product, my whole goal is, look, eventually y'all might not like my movies anymore. Y'all might not like this show. Okay, I'm over this dude, but I got product now. And it's something you're consuming, right? And that's power. And I think that's why we've been blocked out so much. Even with the coffee, people look at me, wait, what this black dude, what the hell going, he want to have, we think, you know what I'm saying? It's Obama, you think you can be president? Yes, we can be president. Yes, I can be a coffee mogul. Yes, I can, And so my next wave now, I'll just be blunt. As a creative, I used to be we're not good with the business. Creatives, man, we're pure souls, bro. We're going to just look for the art of it, right? I'm learning the show business. So that is where I'm in my transformation of that over the past couple of years, focusing on the business end. Not that money is God, but in a capitalistic society, money is security. It's a tool. Money ain't nothing. I don't praise money, but I know it is a tool that needs to be used. It creates security, safety, and just, bro, when you have money, you can eat better. And I hate the fact that the good food is expensive. I hate that. Soda is cheap. real fruit juice is expensive. Y'all don't think that's by design? That's by design, man. So we gotta have product. So this is my product. And a lot of brands wanted me to endorse alcohol and liquor, and y'all see me sipping like this hypocrite. But that's my personal life. My thing was, if I'm gonna stand behind something, like I said, I'm real. I may drink alcohol and still know it's not good for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But for my larger world, for the babies, my representation, coffee was a safe bet for me.
Yeah.
So when God bless Darren Burke at Burke Bands, like I said, it's the story is crazy. I'm speaking at this event. Like I got some interesting supporters. So one of my guys, a very important Jewish businessman, and he launched this company, and he has all of his investors in this lavish dinner down there by Brickell, and he asked me to be the speaker, come and speak. And I'm speaking, Darren Burke is in the audience. And he said, man, we have to sit down. I'm just moved by you. We have to sit down. And he's just a lover of the show. And he's like, man, you need your own coffee. I said, what? So I just, a lot of us, coffee's big in the Latin world, in Europe, but I don't think a lot of black people do drink coffee, but it's not much. But me, I used to drink coffee, but now I'm a connoisseur. Now I'm a real, and the education Darren has given me in just the food and beverage business, bro. So this is an imprint of Don Pablo Coffee. So Don Pablo is a mid-level, it's a big company. It's in Costco's everywhere, but it's premium coffee. So we like to say, no diss to Starbucks, but think about this is Miles Davis, and then you got the jazz, that's the water. You know what I'm saying? This is rock, it's pure, this is Public Enemy. You know what I'm saying? This ain't mumble rap. So so what it is, it's Arabica beans. So remember, I'm a health guy. So the problem with coffee, I used to drink it with cream and sugar because it would be bitter versus black, right? That's why people put the sugar in cream, which is not good for you. Drinking black coffee is actually good for you. So the Arabica beans are more expensive. They're harvested different, they're raised different, so the bitterness isn't there. So you could drink my coffee straight, and it's just smooth out the bitterness. So you got to try it.
So you got to let the people know where they can get the coffee from.
At petersnightcap.coffee. So my name, Peters, NITECAP.coffee. And also the audiobook. We basically, on the anniversary, I think it was 10-year anniversary, right in the middle of the pandemic, me and Trick decided to relaunch the book in the audio form. So it's on Audible right now.
Okay.
Because shout out to Birdman. He was the first person. I was on his tour bus doing an interview. And I said, I saw about the book. He said, man, young, I love it, man. I love it, blood. I love it, blood. But Pete, a lot of our people ain't reading, man. He said, Pete, my audiobook's going to be in Birdman, he don't get enough credit.
Yeah.
Baby don't get enough credit. And I'll say this about Baby. Baby always has his finger on the pulse of the culture. When NiteCap started to hit, he was one of the first person to reach out to me. And we were going to do a deal with remember Cash Money Content, his book publishing content?
Yeah, the book publishing.
So I was down there with it for a bit. I got to meet Wayne and everybody. And I was going to do the deal. It didn't go through whatever, but I still appreciate the knowledge. Bro, to sit with a man that is up, millions or whatever. Like I said, I'm not a materialistic guy, but I give credit where credit is due. If you made that amount of money, you're not a stupid guy. And just soaking up some of the things he told me, man, like audio, but he said, P, I do an audio book. Our people ain't reading. And years later, I finally took his advice. And it's been doing well because sadly, we're in a lazy world now, bro. Everything is convenient. Like, I'm a reader. I love to sit down and hold the book. I'm old school.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
That's one of my biggest hobbies.
Yeah, and that's
I
why
gotta have that book.
And that's why you succeeding.
Yeah, no disrespect to the audio, but I gotta have that book.
Exactly. But some people, man, Peter, I'm running, I'm in the car, I can just press play. I get it.
Yeah.
So we want to reach everybody the way they want to be reached.
Yeah.
Basically.
So outside of that, what's some of the best advice you got from Birdman? Or the best knowledge, game, anything?
Period?
Yeah, period.
Raekwon. When you look at one of the interviews, he's a big supporter of NiteCap.
Don't to my Birdman. What's some of the best advice? Yeah, like knowledge, advice, whatever. What's some of the best, like Birdman, or game or whatever?
It's a lot. It's a lot. Baby's like this. He's smart. He gonna set up an atmosphere and have a conversation. He's not gonna tell you what to do. He gonna lead you to what you need to do. And what Birdman led me to understand was, Peter, you're a smart guy. You're an intellectual. And I always wondered, why all the intellectual academia guys broke? Now, let's keep it real. A lot of PhD cats broke, bro. Broke. And he kind of shook, because that's one night, he said, Peter, look at me, dog. You know, he got, remember he had put the star? He said, Peter, you don't think I know these white boys see this star on my damn head? They think I'm stupid. You don't think I know that? Well, I'm the one running this. What I gathered from him was, Peter, stop thinking brilliance is one way. You know, that man that's a plumber, that got to figure out how to break down those pipes, that's genius in his own form. So Birdman taught me to appreciate everyone's gifts and genius, bro. And that's helped me in the business world. You know, it's you got to respect everybody, bro.
Yeah.
Baby is a knack for understanding everything and seeing what everybody could add and then putting some juice behind it and blowing it the hell up.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you look at Birdman, Drake, Nicki, now NBA.
Yeah.
He just always right there.
Yeah, he always had
Giving
the
that game. But like I said, Birdman ain't gonna try to control you. He gonna let you be your own man. He like a consummate unk. He always with the young boys. He always with the young. And that's what keeps him young. He's like he gonna lead you to where you need to go, but he understand we men.
Yeah.
You can't tell no youngin' what to do now. You gotta lead him. Remember, he got his own mind. He was once young. So baby he gonna lead you there.
Yeah.
Lead you to that. And I've just now, I got smarter, man. I got smarter. Because what he was trying to say, if intellectuals, you like 2% of the population, and you trying to sell at 80%, so you missing 80% of your consumer base. Think about it. If you a PhD guy, how many people got PhDs? So because of your PhD, you can't even relate to the majority of the consumers. And I said, wow. And then a lot of smart people, you know why they can't act? They're too smart. They're always trying to think everything out. They don't just go. Ted Lucas showed me that. I was dealing with, putting out some project. And I said, Ted, man, I don't know if I got the rights to, he said, Peter, just go. You know, and if any pressure come, then it's a hit.
Yeah.
But just go. Very intelligent people, they overthink. It's analysis paralysis, bro. They get stuck. I just go. Like, when I create, it don't gotta be 100%. If it's 80%, get it out there. And based on the reception, then you tweak later.
Yeah. So so outside of the documentaries and the docuseries, you and Ted Lucas got anything else in the vault? Like anything else y'all working on?
We try. We in the formulation of the sequels. You know, just keeping on. When we thought about Kingpins, like I said, it was always a franchise to eventually go to other cities. Like Atlanta, because dealing with Block, but I told the Block, you know, that Miami boys that war in Atlanta. See, I didn't know that. People don't know when the Miami boys went to Atlanta, it wasn't like Atlanta cats just say, yo, come take our work. No, they were fighting.
Yeah.
Because Miami had the better prices because it's closer to the, so Atlanta, it was like, remember, every man's a lion in his own home.
For sure.
Every man's a lion. So they're not going to let you take the block. There's a lot of bloodshed up there.
So who at the top of the list, man? Who at the top of the list? Who next?
Man, I can't. There's plethora of names. Yeah. You got Versace Neals, you got the Rich Brownlees, you got the Vondas, you got Bubba for John Doe. You got a lot of cats, man. And if I say who, you got Trav. You got man, it's a lot of these.
So is because you mentioned Ross, one of the executive producers for the Miami Kingpins.
Yes, he is.
So like y'all got his good grace, he gonna keep executive producing projects,
man,
or what?
Let me tell y'all a bit about Ross, and I'm gonna speak for him in this sense. I think when one of us just becomes larger than life, it's human that some of that envy, some of that nonsense come. And I'm gonna say this real, because I think about Birdman, I think about all these cats that were moguls and signed people, and then you hear, oh, it was robbing, it was this, it was that. And I want people, this is very important what I'm about to say. Black people, can we give each other more grace? Like, we got a lot of heat for each other, man. And everything we dealing with is because of a system that was created that we didn't create. But we don't take the heat there. Like, we take the heat to each other. So let me explain what I'm saying. I'm Brian Williams. I'm a kid from the hood. I'm coming out of New Orleans, whatever. I don't know business. I got a whole bunch of money. Some mistakes got to be made. We don't really know what we're doing. But it's like they've taught us to just say, oh, no, he a thief, you a this. Yeah, maybe so, but can we give each other more grace, man? We don't have to just let's think about it. What do you see what's going on in the news, man? Black men, it's like, what is this? It's like you can't turn on the news without another black man, either a rapist, a pedophile, messing with boys. What is this? And then there's black people pushing it. I got a real problem with that, man. Like, I'm a black man in this country, and it's like I'm walking around, so I think about the babies, like, what is this? You know, so if we could give each other more grace, bro, and understand that we're all new to business. We're all not given a pass, because there's some greedy bastards out there. But I'm talking about years ago, things that were, them boys doing this now, you done rich, and you came up, you still doing that nonsense, and you got to go. But I think, man, we're all new to this thing called financial success, and we trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Trying to figure it out.
That's real, yeah. So, yeah. Ben, as long as you've been in the media game, what's some of the best advice you could give me right now?
Be open. Be open. When you sit with an interview, don't have your So you know, probably too many people that journalists in these podcasts, man, before the person even sit down, they already have what they want to get out the person, the angle they want to get at, and what they want to weaponize. That's not storytelling. Journalism is letting the story tell itself. So let me explain. When I go in to interview somebody, I probably got an idea what I'm going to ask and who I think they are. But if I'm realizing, no, this is different, I got to humble myself and let the story tell itself, which you're doing right now. You got to let that what you are, you're an enabler. I put it this way, I call it the Fawcett effect. So I'm known for, a lot of people like, man, how the hell you got him to talk about something? Because I read people. The problem with most journalists, they arrogant as hell, bro. They think they the microphone and they higher than dial. Bro, I'm human too. So I'll throw you a lot of things on this mic that will paint me in the best light. So what I've learned is, if I give you my food, you're going to give me your food, right? If I'm open with you, you're going to be open with me. The Fawcett effect is when I'm talking to you and I see something happen, your body language and your eyes light up, got you. I got that faucet on. When that faucet on, just let that man run.
Yeah.
Don't try to control people's story, bro. And I think that's why mainstream media, legacy media is getting ate up by YouTube. If you look at the data, you're replacing, bro, nightly news, bro. We're replacing, dude, Oprah's on YouTube now. Okay?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, NBC's on YouTube now.
Sure.
When I started, what's that YouTube? That's a whole bunch of nonsense. Every major news network now is on YouTube. And the trick of the machine is, you know why independent is always painted as some broke, destitute reality? Because the big machines don't want you going independent.
Yeah.
They want to paint us as independent, broke, this, that, the other. I'll say this. Look how powerful we are. People tune into you, and you ain't got CNN. You take the average journalist on them network news, you erase that label behind them, ain't nobody watching them.
Yeah.
Real. Ain't Don Lemon now with us? Ain't Don, remember, and look, he could come at me. I'm not going to talk bad about anybody, but I remember him during the Ferguson thing. It was when he was reporting, talking about the smell of weed. My point is, he in the street with us now. Ain't he on YouTube? So respect to that brother. But my point is, and I said that not as an attack, as the danger of us as black people. True story. My man, some of my crew was there. When NiteCap started, bro, we had nothing. I remember going to Jazz in the Gardens and we walking, I'm on my cameraman, I said, Peter, we can't go in there, man. We got duct tape on the lens and all that. I said, man, we going. So you had CNN, everybody out, MSNBC. She walking in there, they looking at me, who you? Another time I'm in LA. we had the ASCAP Awards, so I got some connects. My boys out there. Yo, I don't know if you want to say how much gang culture controls the West. It's very interesting. Like, literally, like gang culture, every facet of LA. Like, I'm talking about from the top to the bottom. So let's just say we got into the ASCAP Awards in the back door. So we in there, we just bum rushed the damn thing. So, you know the red carpet line? So the lady, our connect, got us to the red carpet line, and we didn't have like the proper writing typed up. So we got like a piece of paper, and we wrote Nightcap on a marker. So when you walk on the red carpet, it says CNN, E! News. So you see Rinky Dink Nightcap. So we in the line, and this lady next to me, she was at MSNBC, one of them. She was like, wow, who are you and how you? I said, well, we in the same spot, ain't we?
Yeah.
So my point is, the illusion that independence means you're less than, that's a game. Didn't CNN start just like this?
Yeah.
Didn't ABC start just like this? So what's different? How we different? You feel me?
Yeah, for sure.
So it's, I love it, bro. I'm 6'8". I'm a 6'8" black man that don't play basketball. So my whole life and existence is a constant rebellion against what you think I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
So when I started the independence in media, my peers like, man, Peter, what is Peter doing? I've lived to see all of them try to catch up to this. Interesting, bro. So it's America, man. It pays to be a maverick, bro.
Yeah.
America is rooted in rebellion, homie. You know, Eminem became what he was. Then you have a video burying his in the backyard or something. It's America, man. So I love it.
I'm saying, so if Ocho keep his word, man, you get to sit down, man, with him and Shannon Sharp, and y'all talk it out through an interview, man.
Yeah, man. Look, I'll say this, bro. I mean, I grew up watching Shannon, bro. God, Super Bowl icon. What are we talking about? I grew up watching, look, let me be real with you. When I got to interview Ocho, I had goosebumps. Ocho arguably brought a certain flair and entertainment and branding to the NFL. He's Ocho, bro. He's icon. So I respect them cats. And honestly, in a weird way, I'm thrilled that guys on that level actually were inspired by something I created.
That's hard.
That's how I look in life, bro.
Yeah,
I always
hard.
look at the fact that I created something. This kid from St. Thomas, man, created something that two world-class, iconic, professional athletes are running with and inspired and pattern off of. Man, kudos to me. I'll drink to that.
Yeah, for sure.
But I do look forward to sitting with them brothers and you know, just vibing, man, and seeing how we could just keep pushing storytelling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's next for Nightcap?
Man, I had some great interviews. We got Commissioner Gilbert on there, Commissioner Oliver Gilbert, Miami-Dade Commissioner. You know, the range, and he has a great discussion on politics and how he's just an interesting guy, and his take on politics is different from your average, you know, tailored suit speeches. And then today, we interviewed Melky Jean, man, Wyclef's sister.
Damn.
Yeah, Wyclef's sister. She's also Grammy nominated. It was a blessing because she's the voice on one of my favorite film soundtracks, Love Jones. You know, Melky saying, I got a love soldier. And she has a new liqueur. And I guess I'll break it there too. So me and her were testing the alcohol infused with the coffee, man. Yeah. And I think it's a hit. So look out for it. Look out for it.
How did that opportunity to interview her come about?
Supporter. You know, Melky and her husband, when I started NiteCap, Melky's husband years ago came to me and said, yo, you're doing something that's going to change the game. At the time, I didn't believe him because when you in your element, you just doing. You don't really, that's greatness. If you thinking about it, it ain't greatness. Like, bro, I don't think Tupac knew he'd have been Pop. When I think Pop made, you know, keep your head up, he just said that from the soul, dog. And that's great art. So when I'm doing night, when he's telling me this, Peter, you're going to be iconic. That's what he's doing to him. I'm just interviewing people because I got this passion to tell our stories in a positive way. And he was right. Yeah. They've been rocking with me from the beginning. That's that. And then Clef got on the show. Remember, I'm Caribbean.
Yeah,
so the beauty about Caribbean people, bro, once a Caribbean person here, you doing something major, we going to find each other. We going to link up. And then remember the Haitian, brother, the Haitian history, where would black people be without Haiti? You know, that was the first success for Haiti's the first place to defy the colonizers. They're the only black nation to free themselves. And that's why the world made an example out of them. If you black people ever try to chart you on course, you're going to be like that. So to just be with them and Clef and her and have them add their support to what I do, once again, bro, I'm home. I love it. You know, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that this is all happening. But yeah, they're big supporters of NiteCap, man. Big supporters.
Yeah, man. So, you know, like, man, all the stories and everything, man, I got to bring you back now. I got to keep bringing, I got to bring
Friday
you back,
night, man. You got me, sir. You get me.
Yeah, man. I feel like though with what you was doing with the media, man, I feel like you was ahead of your time.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Ross told me that too.
Before I even thought about media, you know, I was watching and I was a fan.
Wow, thank you, man.
So I'm like, really, like, as a fan, interesting to see, you know, where you go take it at, you know, now that you're back, fully focused on it.
Bro, and just to hear you say that, you know, the magic of being able to create something and somebody you don't know be inspired by it, but that's God, you know. And I'll be real with you, man. Like I said, I'm in a new landscape, and I'll humbly say, I feel, bro, like a pro fighter that retired. He come back in the game. He the guy, but he rusty, and they got new cats, and he respecting the new cats. But I'm coming.
Yeah.
I love what everybody's doing, but I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? We either gonna coexist, but I'm here now. But it's lovely because when I was there was no competition, right? It was just me. So to see all these new interviewers, I give an example. I was talking about this earlier, the Bo Diddley interview, right? I wasn't ready for this, y'all. I didn't know what a troll was. The first time I got trolled on Twitter, some guy, hey, you know, you can ask my people. I went looking for the dude. I'm from old school. I'm thinking it's real big. Like you got. So I see the cat somewhere. It was somewhere on North Miami Ave, like Opalaka somewhere in a subway. And he was on Twitter, like it was something. He called me something. He didn't know me. And he was like, this Peter Bailey dude, I don't know if he really down for the community. He may be the Illuminati, because how you get all this access? Like, what the hell? So I see the guy. I don't think he thought, and I guess people think, you know, this intellectual guy, look, man, I'm human. So, like I said, I'm a work in progress. So I think he has a real problem with me. So I said, we good? He's like, oh, no, man, this is Twitter. I said, oh, okay, that's what this is. So I'm kind of learning. Bro, it's almost like I predict a couple years from now, I don't think it's probably happening right now. I don't think we're going to be able to say what's real or fake anymore. I think with the advent of AI, I basically think you could kill somebody and then somebody going to say it's fake news. Ain't that what homeboy?
Damn. That's crazy.
Then we see somebody get murdered by ICE, and then there's a half of the population saying, no, that's not what happened, but I got ICE. So we're in so to say that, so I do the Bo Diddley interview, and I thank God it's just keep getting views and views because that was his first real interview. Like, Bo has never done a sit-down interview. Bro, there's over 300 comments. I think about 400 by now. Bro, I've been tormented. Bro, about 80% of them is just dissing me.
Yeah.
And the constant critique is, you ain't letting him finish. So I'm going to say it on your show. Let me explain, guys. Always out on bond. You know that, right? Once again, I got a soul. He's out on bond. We're doing an interview. I'm cognitively maybe just trying to make sure I'm slowing it down I don't want him to,
incriminate himself.
So these people you ain't letting the man finish. He was getting to the So you guys just want the man to crash out? That's what the new game is?
Yeah, they don't care.
So I'm sitting there, and I'm not going to say names of certain podcasts, but journalism, I'll give you an example. The tenements of journalism, if I hear that you did something, I can't put that out unless I come to you and at least 2 other sources. Somebody could say Peter Bailey, and y'all just go and it becomes a story, and then it becomes fact. So that, you talk about what's next, I'm right now trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
Like, how do I balance? Because naturally, the problem with art is this, right? Creation is this. You could like what you want to do, but then it's the audience, right? So how do you balance staying true to your art, but understanding the audience? And when I'm navigating that, because I'm never going to be that. But that was the comeback, that was my moment of truth, where basically I was like, oh, this is different. This is different. Like back then when I was doing it, people wanted inspiration. The new culture, Black trauma is the thing. If you go to the algorithm, bro, it's just Black people fighting.
Yeah.
It's constant. I almost think with the NiteCap thing, I think the audience wants me because some bloggers hit me up. They want me to be messy, and then we create this back and forth. And I never want my legacy. I never want to make a name based on tearing nobody down.
Right.
You look at hip hop beef. So when your op dies, you don't have no more material? So if you ain't beefing, you have no material? That doesn't make sense to me. So when I'm reading these comments, I say, oh, you guys just want dirt and more dirt and it's juicier and then I'm a man.
Yeah.
So
That's how the game goes.
I grew up with women gossiping in the salon. I grew up where if you call another man's name, it's in a positive light. And if you got an issue with that man, you speak to that man, probably you and him. But you don't, that's why even with the NiteCap thing, I'm speaking honorably of these guys. So I'm just saying maybe there's a miscommunication with each other. Let's just all get together. But now, it's like, oh, let's go for the blood.
Yeah, yeah.
The dirtier, the nastier, let's go. So I'm adjusted to that, man.
Yeah.
But I'm here and, bro, like you, that's why I came, bro, because when you say you're a fan and you're a supporter, that actually means something to me. I think the problem with today's society is our quote-unquote stars and people who have supporters and fans, they almost think yeah, of course they're my fan. Like, it's like an entitlement, like somebody's supposed to like what you do. Brother, you got a lot of things in your life to do. The fact that you take your time out and spend whatever hour, half hour watching me and what I do, I gotta respect that. So I'm gonna keep that sentiment and keep pushing forward, but still understand it's a new landscape, man.
Yeah, So years back, you interviewed Yo Gotti on your platform.
Yes, I did. One of my biggest interviews. Yes, I did.
What's it been like for you, like just watching him elevate and take it to the next level?
I'm gonna tell you why that was amazing. Thanks you asked that. When I got with Gotti, at that time, I think to this day, he didn't have a manager. Gotti like a Will Smith figure. He do it all. And it was like a connect that set us up together. And I respect Gotti. He a real guy. I'm gonna tell you a real guy. Sure, you invite a man in your home, that's real. Most people who sneaky and nasty don't want to see most people, when they're doing dirt, you can't know where they live because they're doing so much dirt. Gotti invited me to his condo over there on it's like middle North Beach area. It's beautiful, it's cool. And that was his condo, that was his Miami spot. And we had a very long talk. I mean, the beauty, why Gotti is so smart, like most very ultra successful people, they ask a lot of questions. Like Gotti just is trying to consume information. He's not trying to pretend to know everything. So he was fascinated by what I create and how I do what I do. And he kept asking me about the books. You notice he had a book out. So he kept, how you do it? And he just kept asking for knowledge, bro. And when I sat with him, it was like, this is a guy who he's trying to figure it out. Like, he's from the streets, but he know that ain't it. And he's in a new world, and he want to thrive in that new world. And he don't want to bring that to this new world. And he's earnestly trying to evolve and understand and master this. That's what I felt at that moment. And I said, this guy's going to be different. Look where he is.
Yeah, you know he come from up under that Birdman umbrella now.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
A whole lot of us.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm up on a Trick, though. Don't. Trick was the one who set my path in entertainment, and then I met these other guys. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah, your guy come from up under that. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And Birdman's the same way.
Yeah.
Actually, Ross the same way. He just asks questions, bro. They ask a lot of questions. Most millionaires and the billionaires I know, it's very fascinating. They don't really have egos.
Yeah.
You know who got the most ego? Middle class working for. I think they got something to prove. Like the richest people I've met some real rich people, they act like they don't know nothing. Like they know what they know, but when they meet you, they try to get in your brain, bro. It's like a child. Like, bro, Don Peebles, this man's a billionaire. This man just asked me, yo, so how this new media thing? And he's just like, oh yeah? And he just asking, the man a billionaire. I'm sitting there like, what the hell? But that's wisdom. Wisdom is knowing what you don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That the fool is the man that stands on accepting pretending to know what he know.
Yeah.
I don't know everything, bro. So it's like I learn from that.
What you remember the most? What stuck with you the most from the People's interview?
Good question. You know, Peoples told me one time, he said, Peter, you know, I'm arguably the freest black man in America. I said, what you mean? He said, Peter, I'm real estate. Whether you like me or not, you got to live in my business.
Damn.
And that's what really was like, oh, okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Peoples is savvy, bro. That guy is savvy. You know how I met him?
No, how the opportunity came up?
Man, Miami, bro. Y'all done put that machine in me. So I was broke as hell, bro. I had a dime to my name. And I was writing a column at the time for the Miami Times. And there's much respect to Reverend Gary Johnson. I don't know if you're familiar with that, brother. Pastor Johnson and Eric Knowles for the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce. They invited me to a luncheon where Peebles was the keynote speaker. I've been wanting to meet this man from college, bro. So I said, oh, yeah? So I'll go there. And I also went because I had no food, though. I know it's going to be free food. So I'll go there, and as he gets up to speak, I sit right in the front. And the whole time he's speaking, I'm yawning, I'm stretching. I'm just disrespectful, dog. Because I know powerful people. Powerful people like this. Think about this. Everybody's telling you yes. It's like the pretty girl. You know who the pretty girl wants? The guy that's willing to diss her. So this man a billionaire, everybody kissing his butt. I'm like, all right, nah, I ain't about to do that. So I'm up, he's talking, he like, man, who is this mother? So after he's done speaking, they all taking pictures with it, where I go up to him, I grab him, I said, me and you gonna talk one day, watch.
Yeah.
He's like, what the hell? So I'll go into my car and I write a column that's an open letter to Don Peebles, saying basically, I hope you ain't another technical sellout that's selling us a dream. Man, people called me the next day. The next day. I guess it was like, who got the balls to diss a billionaire or even challenge me? And I was up in his office a couple of weeks later interviewing him.
Damn.
That's really how that happened. You can actually look up the article. It's still on the Miami Times site.
Yeah.
And that was, bro, in life, the key to success is you gotta know a moment. Most human beings fail in life because they're not real enough to see their moment. If we're real with ourselves, most human beings, if you just sit with yourself and think about, yeah, your shot came, you just didn't see it, you didn't grasp it. I'm very keen on knowing a moment. When am I gonna be in a room with a billionaire again? So I got to do whatever I can to make a mark. The goal is to be remembered. Why are we still talking about Convertible Bird? He was the loudest. He made noise. And I always know that. So I was willing to crash out. What's the worst guy? I was already broke. He could hate me. I can't get no lower than I was. So I took that risk. I took that risk.
That's real.
And now I have an iconic, that was Don's first sit down like that with the urban community. That was his first, bro. Like, he spoke about Jay-Z. He's very controversial. That was his first.
Yeah.
Like, connecting. And he told me, he said, yo, you're the bridge, bro. You're the bridge between worlds. And yeah, it was crazy. I remember being in his office and my cameraman like, yo, how the F we ain't done?
Yeah.
And you know me, I got that Miami arrogance. I'm up there walking around eating stuff like,
yeah.
And he liked that. Because like I said, very powerful people, everyone says yes. So the one person what you got inside of you that you think you could define me? He was drawn to that. Yeah. Because that's what made him rich.
Yeah. So can we get the Peter Bailey docuseries or the Peter Bailey book?
Wow. It's funny you say that because people have been asking me to option my story. My mother is driving me to do that. She said, Peter, you've been telling everybody story, son. But you got a story. You know why I have not done it yet? I always looked at that as, I don't know, I'm a trained journalist, so I was always taught to be the observer, right? And even to this day, like you said, with my new evolution, I have to learn that, no, people want to hear what's in my brain. And that's why even with this interview, this is probably my realest one yet, because that's the new world. So I'm thinking about it, man. Yeah. But my life been so real, homie. I got a saying. If you see those people always on the Instagram sharing their stories, they ain't been through too much pain, dog. When you've been through some real stuff, you don't even want to revisit it. There's some stuff, if I write about, I can't write about. Like the hurricanes, I still can't sit and write about it. It's like, because I'm going to a place that ain't happy. So, but my mother keeps saying, Peter, the kids deserve it because your story's different. Not to diss anybody, right? But the normal pathway to our success is ball entertainment. My lane has been totally, so I think you're right, the cultural benefit from me unearthing what's up in my brain. So I think I'm gonna work on it, man. Thank you for that question, bro.
For sure. You gotta do that.
Thank you for that question, bro.
Man, I appreciate the conversation, but you know, to wrap the conversation up, I want you to give me the most encouraging words you can give me for the Black community.
Don't judge yourself by what's on your timeline. Lead with love first. And like I said earlier, be patient with each other and never allow someone from the outside to divide us. And if your brother doing something nasty, you take him in the backyard. Stop airing your dirty laundry. Because if you think the people cheering our dysfunction on, they laughing at us, man. At the end of the day, bro, whether you're a Harvard guy, whether you're in Liberty City, you put on a sweatsuit, you're just a nigga, man, to certain people. And understand that. And that's why we have to be unified, bro. Our disunity is killing us, bro. My point is, if a one man got 100 million, we got to stop thinking we got to take his 100 million. We got to stop thinking there's only one loaf of bread. Bro, there's a whole room full of bread, bro. Use that man's as inspiration to say, oh, I can do that too. If he got 100, maybe I get 5. You know, and if we do that, bro, we'll be in a better place. We'll be in a better place to understanding that's your brother, man. We share. You know what's beautiful about Black people? A white guy told me this. He said, Peter, you know that thing you Black people have? Like when you see another Black person, there's a silent understanding. Peter, I don't feel that when I see a white man. I don't have no connection. We don't got no common wall. He said, but Black people, when another Black person see another Black person, I don't care what country, what culture, there's a common unspoken understanding. And let's remember that. And a clenched fist that's unified in purpose can break down any wall, bro.
Damn.
Yeah.
Real that, man.
Yeah, that's my truth.
Appreciate you, man.
Yes, I appreciate you, man.
Shouts out to all my supporters, man. I appreciate everything, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, man, and help the YouTube channel to continue to grow.
Oh man, what's up? Try to get those words.